Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. Today I'm not the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, today I am just Joey. And we're going to play Last of Us Part 2. Now, if you have seen my review for The Last of Us Part 2 on my channel, Obsessive Compulsive Gaming, then you're probably going to be quite aware of what stance I'm going to take in this game. And it may surprise you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play through the game from beginning to end. And I'm going to give my analysis as we go along. My own personal analysis of why I love this game so much. So I'm going to disagree with a lot of YouTubers that are already out there, that are already hating on the game, which is understandable. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. This video is not an attempt to convert your opinion or to get you to see it from my point of view. All I'm going to do is play the game and give you my analysis on it, give you my critique, rather like a Joseph Anderson video or a Luke Stevens, who both did fantastic videos for the original Last of Us. And I'm also going to be quite transparent with you right now. Last of Us, the original Last of Us, as of today, as I stand right now, is my favourite game of all time. Where this sits, I haven't fully decided yet. So just know that going in. Obviously, I shouldn't have to tell you this. This is going to be completely spoiler filled. Rather obvious. I'm going through the game beginning to end. So if you haven't played the game yet, for whatever reason, be it you've been put off by user reviews, critic reviews, by the leaks that happened about a month ago, then who knows? Maybe this playthrough will change your mind and you'll decide to give the game a go. For those of you who have already played the game, please feel free to leave any comments for me as you see fit. I'll try and answer everything that I can. I'm going to try as much as possible not to talk over cutscenes, because not only are the cutscenes beautiful, but that's where you're going to get a lot of the, well, all of the story, obviously. So I'm going to try as much as possible not to talk over the cutscenes. But obviously there's a lot of cutscenes in the game, so it might be difficult to always stick by that. I'll also make you aware I have played the game now 3 times to completion in its entirety. I was quite fortunate to get the game a little bit early. Not too early, just a little bit early. And I pretty much went through it in one sitting. Yes. So this will now be my 4th playthrough of the game. So I would like to think that by now I have a lot to talk about in regards to the game, on my thoughts, my feelings, how I feel about certain scenes that have been very controversial, certain characters, one in particular that has been the subject of much discussion and hate and poison and disdain. This video is not, like I said, to change anyone's mind on the game. It's simply to give you my opinion, my own personal opinion on my interpretation of certain things, character motivations, etc. So this video is going to be available via YouTube. Obviously it will be in parts. I'm not going to play it all in one go. So hopefully for anyone who is watching this on YouTube, you're going to be able to see the full playlist right there, so you can jump around as you see fit. If you maybe haven't played the game and you don't want to spoil certain sequences for yourself, you may be able to tell by what I say that a certain part may be coming up, etc. I'm going to try as much as possible not to give things away that haven't happened yet, i.e. not discuss events that aren't happening as in right now. So, not talking about the end of the game until we get to there. Not talking about what happens at the midway point until we either get very close to it or get to it. So, I'm both very excited and dreading what's going to happen for the duration of this playthrough. Now, I may be able to get through the game in about, I'm going to say about 18 hours. Maybe less. Just less. I've ran through the game a couple of times already, obviously, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of the side things that you can do in the game. Though they are worth doing. I'll just put that out there right now. So it's nothing against, it's not that they are, it's not worth doing them. It's just, I want to keep the playthrough as quick as possible, without skipping cutscenes, without skipping over things, without cutting the video up, unless I really have to, so that I can just commentate as we go. Now, a very, very, very important point is this. Now, you may watch this from beginning to end, you may watch certain parts, you may watch just to see what I say about particular scenes or particular characters, etc. If you do not agree with what I am saying, that's fine. All I would ask is, please, please, please resist. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but resist. I don't want to say the word abuse, throwing abuse into the comments. Just be aware that you may not agree with what I'm going to say, and that's fine. Your opinion is your own. My opinion is my own. I am not a games journalist, though I am taking my gaming now in a very semi-professional manner. Obviously we have the Obsessive Compulsive Gaming YouTube channel, we have the Twitch, we have the Instagram, all that jazz, Facebook group, etc, etc. So I am very much treating it the way that a games journalist would, although I am not officially a games journalist. So it's not going to be the most eloquent discussion you've ever heard, probably. None of this is scripted. It's all just going to be me talking as I play through the game. So, without further ado, I will begin. And I'll respond to anyone who comes in, if and when they do. Now, I will just first of all say, this screen that you're seeing here, this title screen, this is not what you see when you first begin the game. There's a title screen that you only see once you finish the game for the first time. We'll discuss that when we get to the end of the game. I don't really have to explain that just now. So, this will be a New Game Plus playthrough, so upgraded weapons, upgraded characters, etc, etc. All that jazz. And here we go. Fireflies in the corner there. little reminder of the original game. Fireflies were quite an important part of it, and they certainly have an influence in this game, in the sequel. Definitely. We begin on a guitar. Now that is an important symbol
I don't know what happened
in the game.
I was supposed to take her to the Fireflies and walk away. You go halfway across the country with someone. She needed her immunity to mean something. Maybe I was starting to buy into that old cure business. Maybe I just wanted to do right by her. And then we made it. We found the Firefly. Because of her, they were actually going to make a cure. The only catch, it would kill her. Sweet Jesus.
Doctor?
What are you doing? I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
Jesus Christ, Joe. What do you do? Save her.
Don't let her get away!
Goddamn. That's so. That's a lot. What does Ellie know?
I told her they just ran some tests. I told her her immunity meant nothing.
And she believed you?
I didn't say otherwise.
We should head back.
Now the game is not specific, but we are to assume this takes place maybe just after the events of the original game. So that whole opening sequence is clearly Joel confessing to Tommy, his brother, what happened at the end of the last game. I meant to say before I began, I'm going to just assume that everyone who is watching this has either played or watched or knows the events of the original game. So I'm not going to focus on trying to recap everything. So that's what we had there, was Joel talking to Tommy, recapping the events of the previous game. Confessing to him what he did. Now, in the original game, when we began the game, we were placed in control of Sarah, Joel's daughter, and that was important. It was a little bit of a subterfuge. We're controlling Sarah because the game wants us to care about her before the horrible events happen at the beginning of the original game. Without saying too much about it, I feel that that's very similar in this game. We get to control Joel here, right at the very beginning of the game. This is still Joel and Ellie's story. We're still playing that. So we could very much see this almost as a kind of extension to the ending of the original game. Already we can see how beautiful this game is. And the original was a very good looking game, especially in the remastered version on PlayStation 4. But this knocks it out the park, as far as I'm concerned. We have PlayStation 5 coming out by the end of the year, I think. But this is next gen, right here. Heading back to Jackson.
It's okay. I got him. You go on.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
About what we were talking about earlier. I can't say I'd have done different. I'll take it to the grave if I have to.
I'll see you later, Doc.
This is obviously Ellie. You can tell by the cornbears. That's an image that will come up later on, the cornbears. I'll discuss that when it's necessary.
Ellie?
So we assume that Joe and Ellie have now settled into Jackson after the events of the previous game. That's where they were going at the climax of the previous game. That's where the last scene took place, while they were heading back to Jackson.
Jesus. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I tried knocking, but
Hey,
hey,
what's up, Joel?
just checking in. Folks are, talking about how impressed they are with you and how well you're helping out.
It's good.
Yeah. Tommy and I went out riding the other day, and he told me a joke, and I thought about you. It's oh shoot, no, I forgot it.
Call back
Talking
to
about
the
a
original
clock.
there.
How do you?
Joel, it's pretty late and I gotta get up in a few hours.
Yeah. I know. I'm gonna get out of your hair. Just I want to show you something. Just give me 1 second.
What's this?
Some folks call this thing here a guitar.
Funny.
You want to hear something?
Okay.
Okay. Promise me that you won't laugh.
I won't laugh. I won't.
I'm trusting you. If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself. Everything I have found here, I'm not found by myself. Try and sometimes you'll succeed to make this man of me. All my stolen missing parts I've no need for any more. As I believe, and I believe, 'cause I can see our future days, days of you and me. There you go.
Well, that didn't suck.
I'll take what I can get. She's yours.
No. No. I don't know the first thing
I
about
promised
this.
that I'd teach you how to play.
You did.
So what do you say, tomorrow night? First lessons?
Deal.
Okay. Okay.
Do you remember the joke?
What is the downside to eating a clock? It's time consuming.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Good night, kiddo.
And that's a wonderful scene. Now, obviously, from the end of the original game, we obviously know that Joel made the decision to rescue Ellie from the Fireflies. As a result, he killed Marlene, killed X amount of the Fireflies in the hospital, all because he wanted to save this girl that he had formed. You know, they'd formed this sort of father daughter relationship through the original game, and he couldn't be without her. Whether you agree with that or not, that's what he did. But in the process, he's lied to Ellie about it, and my interpretation from the original game was when Ellie asks him about it, and she says, you know, swear to me that everything you said about the Fireflies is true. And Joel says, I swear, which we know is a lie. And she says, okay. And that's what ended the original game. Now, the okay, when she says okay, you can take it several ways. I always took it to be she doesn't believe him at first. She's asked him to swear, believing that if he swears on it, then it's you know, chances are it's going to be true because she trusts him. But she always harbours that little doubt in the back of her head that the man who's become a father to her has lied to her. And we can see that in this scene because you can see there's genuinely tension there. When Joel first comes in and, you know, Ellie's kind of one-word answers, you know, have to get up early in the morning, blah, blah, blah. Trying to almost get rid of him. And you could see Joel trying. So, Ellie is distant because she doesn't believe what he maybe told her at the end of the original game. And Joel is trying his damnedest, almost already trying to make it up to Ellie by fulfilling the promise to do with the guitar. In the original game, Ellie asks Joel to sing her a song, which he doesn't do. Here, he does. He finally makes that happen. The interpretation that I have taken from that scene is that Joel has written the song, obviously, because the lyrics are very meaningful, you know, to what he feels about Ellie. He doesn't want Ellie to leave him because she has made him, you know, a better person over the course of the original game. You know, Joel has really become the man he wants to be. Almost the man he was before, you know, the shit hit the fan. You know, 20 years earlier. When Sarah was killed and, you know, the pandemic happened. And slowly through the scene that we just saw there, Ellie starts to warm up. And we start to see more of that relationship that they had in the original game. Now, these scenes are very important in this game. There's a few of them. And they're what I believe people should be hanging on to when talking about the game. Remember, this is still, at this time, Joel and Ellie's story. It's even summed up in, if you noticed in the original, in the opening credits to the game, it says starring Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker. They're together for a reason. because they're just as important as each other. In terms of, regardless of what happens at any other point in this game, Joel and Ellie together. Joel has an effect on everything in this game. They're enough. We'll discuss in more detail when we get to a certain sequence. So yeah, it's a fantastic scene. And now we are going to go forward in time. 4 years, I believe it is. Of course, we get the title here. Now, it's definitely a much more upbeat opening than the original had. By this point in the original, Sarah had been killed.
Shit.
And it was all very downbeat.
Hey,
Morning.
sorry, I totally
One of our new
overslept. Just give me a
characters,
minute, I'll
Jesse.
get dressed.
I heard you had quite a night after I left.
She kissed me. It was just Dina being Dina. She didn't mean anything by it.
I was talking about your fight with Seth. Wait,
There's a nice use of comic timing here from Ashley Johnson.
Oh. I thought this...
we're broken up 1 week and you make a move on my girl?
No. She was probably just trying to make you jealous. I would never... Oh, fuck, this is so weird.
I'm messing with you, man. I don't care. Get dressed.
You're the worst.
It's kind of fucked up you did that.
Now, I don't really have to tell you this, but the line delivery is fantastic.
Smells fine.
Now, of course, what they're referring to the previous night is the scene, for those of you who haven't played the game, they're referring to the scene from the trailer, which we will see in the game, but it might not be for quite some time.
Here we go. Hey, is Joel up?
We got reports of infected out north. We sent him and Tommy out early to scout.
That sucks.
Yep. Can't imagine they got much sleep. Definitely not as much as you.
Shut up. I was just about to get up. I was.
You got everything?
Yes.
Heads up. You're the talk of the town this morning.
What?
Let me see if I got this right. You kissed Dina,
She kissed me.
which triggered Seth to call you a not-so-nice word.
Yep.
Then Joel decked him,
More of a push.
and then you got mad at Joel. That part confused me.
It was a strange night, man.
Sounds exciting. Maria wants a word with you.
Where is she?
Tommy's wife.
Diner?
Is this about Seth?
No clue.
Just tell her you never saw me.
Excuse me?
Hey, so... We're okay, right?
You and me? Yeah, of course. Dina and I are done.
I know. It's just... I don't want you to think...
Ellie, we're cool. Promise.
Thanks. Hey, old timer. Yeah, get a good scratch.
Now this chap here is Gustavo. I'm going to butcher his surname, Santaloya. He did the music for the game and the previous game. I don't think he says anything, but the character model is definitely based on him. Just thought I would point that out.
Hey, Jesse.
Oh, hi.
Now, as you can see, this is much more of a community than it was in the original game. Obviously, in the original game, they were just trying to get Jackson up and running, you know, get the electricity working, etc. But now it's definitely flourished into a community.
Want to grab some breakfast?
No. Where's Maria?
In the back.
Excuse me.
Ellie. There you are. Come here. Seth's got something he wants to say.
I don't want to hear what that figure has to say.
Do it for me. Please.
Fine.
Seth. Seth, come here.
Hey. Look, last night I was drinking too much.
Sure.
I'm trying to say I'm sorry. Maria tells me that you and Dean are headed out. I made you some sandwiches.
Okay.
For steak.
Thank you, Seth.
Yeah. Well, you be safe out there.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
What you got there?
Bigot sandwiches.
Smells good.
They're yours.
You sure?
It's fine.
Let me walk you out.
Okay.
When you go out, I want you to trade off with Tommy and Joel. Those boys have been up for far too long.
Where do I meet them?
If you go up to the Northwest Lookout, they're scheduled to arrive later today. Watch yourself. There's too many sightings of infected recently.
Of course. I was gonna check out the creek trails. I'll need someone else to cover it.
Ellie, you know the creek trails?
Not really.
Dina's done it a bunch. I'll have the two of them take it.
Ellie, can I talk to you for a sec?
Sup?
Look, I don't know what's going on with you and Joel.
Maria,
Guy really cares about you. And I'm sure he didn't mean to.
we're fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry to pry. Be safe.
Thanks.
Yo, Dina! Assignments!
Just give me a minute!
We get your girlfriend to the stables, please.
Hey, Dina. Can I talk to you?
Hey, guys! I'm tapping out. Come on, how long?
Whew.
Hey.
Hey. I just want to say sorry for running off last night.
Oh, it's okay. I totally get it. I felt bad.
Why?
Because I started the whole thing, and I shouldn't have kissed you in front of all of those people.
No,
And
you were drunk. It's fine.
well, still, I don't want you to think.
No, I'm not reading into it or anything. Just...
You know what I love about you? How you let me finish my sentences.
All right. Well, we should probably get going.
Yeah.
Ow! What the fuck? I'm not even playing!
Because you're a chicken? You're a chicken!
I hate this kid so much.
You want to fuck him up?
Yeah, I do.
You asked for it!
You better run, you little shits!
Holy shit! Get to cover! Go! Go!
Gotcha!
We're on the board!
Now this is an instance in the game to do with Ellie not, you know, not following
Oh, fuck yeah! Oh, you like that? Don't tell your mom.
what she's been asked to do.
Ow!
Damn! Arm on that kid! kid.
I see you. Oh! In your face.
And I think that kind of, well, maybe it could be interpreted as reading too much into it, but there's definitely an argument made for the fact that in the original Last of Us, Ellie was very much following Joel's lead for the whole game. Now, obviously, because, well, Ellie's obviously older now, and she and Joel don't have that same closeness that they had in the original game. You know, it can be interpreted that Ellie's kind of, you know, straying from the path a little bit already. Okay, yes, it's just a snowball fight, but it could be seen as, you know, it's the beginning of Ellie maybe just starting to just stray just a little bit too much from the path. As I said, it could be me reading far too much into it, but it's just a little interesting thing I noticed.
Hey, ladies, I'll bring them in.
Thank you.
And I do think this game definitely does call back to a lot of subtle little instances in the original title. Definitely.
That's a good girl.
I'll try and point out as many as I can. Obviously, if you notice any that I don't, feel free to comment, let me know.
Hey, Shimmer.
Oh, look who decided to join us.
Yeah.
One for you. And one for you. Open it up. Settle down, children. All right. You all know the drill. Run your routes, mark your logbooks, clear any infected you see. You run into anything you can't handle, you come back. Be smart about it. All right. Get going.
Now let the discussion begin. So this is now where it gets... The water gets slightly muddied. Let's put it that way. So here we are introduced to Abby. Waking up from a nightmare. The same nightmare she probably has every single night. And that will be a kind of recurring theme that I'll point out later on in regards to a different character.
Hey. What were you dreaming about?
Was I talking?
You're doing your teeth grinding thing.
Where have you been?
Grab your gear. I want to show you something.
What?
Trust me. Come on. This way.
Okay, so in the space of 35 minutes, roughly, give or take, we've had control of Joel. We then had control of Ellie, very briefly. Now we have control of Abby. Now these are our three main characters for the game. Joel, Ellie, Abby.
It's cold. You sure you don't want to do this when the sun's out? And it's warmer?
No. Can't wait.
And you don't want to just tell me?
You need to see it.
And here we have Owen.
What are you doing wandering around out here by yourself?
Been restless.
You too?
Feel like the farther south we go, the prettier it's gotten.
You want to keep going? And just drive all the way to Mexico?
I've thought about it.
You could see Manny's hometown.
Yeah, I don't see that living up to his stories somehow.
Yeah, no, probably not. You did all this in the dark?
Yes. Now come on.
You keep going like this, we're gonna be tired for today's trip.
It's not that far.
Hey, is Mel okay? She seemed out of it these past few days.
She'll be fine.
You stop being weird, you're freaking me out.
I'm not being weird. Careful jumping over these.
Our new mechanic for the game.
Are you breaking up with Mel?
What? No. You wish.
I've had my fill, thank you.
Okay, so now we know that Abby and Owen had a relationship previously. And Owen is now with a woman called Mel,
You'll be fine.
who was back at the lodge.
Come on.
We're now introduced to Abby's clear fear of heights.
Eyes on me.
So the game is clearly, even though we know very little about this woman so far, the game is already giving us information, you know, to get to know her already.
Go back this way?
Consider it an opportunity to work on your fears.
So we already have quite a bit of information,
Foot up your ass.
and a rather interesting. I won't have been the first person to notice it. It's probably already been mentioned, but you can already notice. I'm reluctant to call love triangle, because obviously we haven't seen enough yet. But we have the trio of Ellie, Jesse, and Dina.
We made it.
And now we have Abby, Owen, and Mel.
It's a fucking city.
And that's Jackson,
Yeah.
that they're clearly looking at. So we have no idea why they are here yet,
Wanted you to see it first.
at this point.
Saw an armed patrol go from town to an outpost over there. A few more outposts in between. They have electricity, guns. It's a lot of people.
We can figure it out.
Figure what out?
Okay. Assuming he's in there, how do we get to him?
He's in there.
We can corner one of the patrols and get confirmation, and then, I don't know, maybe find a way to lure him out.
So they've clearly come here looking for a specific person.
I'm sure they'll be happy to offer that information up.
Well, then we make them.
And just remember, guys, I'm talking obviously in terms of that people don't know. This is for the people who don't know.
What's going on with you?
The people who've not played the game, not seen the leaks, don't know. So it might sound a little bit silly that, you know, I'm being so vague, but it's obviously for the people who don't know
Should I say
yet
congrats?
Everyone else sees this.
who they're looking for.
We can convince him, right? I fucking knew I couldn't count on you.
Abby, I want what you want, but not at any cost.
But not at any cost. That's an important line. And it's been introduced less than an hour into the game. Not at any cost. I want what you want, but not at any cost. So clearly Abby wants something. She's looking for someone for some reason. We don't know what yet. But it's clearly very serious. And it's clearly very important because she's now going off on her own. So yeah, just returning to the
Do the whole thing on my own.
I was discussing, I don't want to call it a love triangle, but I'll just refer to it as that. So there's definite mirroring, you know, mirror image almost of two separate groups. So we have Ellie, Jesse, Dina, one group, and we have Abby, Owen and Mel. We've just found out that Mel is pregnant again. That will be important in later on. When in terms of, I'm talking about mirror images, similarities. Another new mechanic for the game, going prone. Was not something you could do in the original. Does it drastically change gameplay? No. We can already see Abby is clearly very bothered by the fact that Mel is pregnant. So we can only assume.
That's a lot of them.
Slight jealousy, perhaps. We've already established that Abby and Owen had a relationship at some point. Or had something at some point.
Oh shit.
And here we have our first infected for the game. And who encounters them? Abby. So already we're starting to see, you know, Abby's clearly an important character in the scheme of this game. You know, she's able to take on an infected with her bare hands. She's clearly very capable, very strong. And another new mechanic we have for the game is the dodge mechanic. See, I haven't quite mastered the title. There we are.
My shoulder.
I need to get a view. How do I get out of here? This is a bad idea, Abby. Where's that lookout? Okay. It's gotta be close.
Then we're going to be introduced to the stealth mechanic for the game. Now, Abby and Ellie are very different in terms of the animations, and it kind of reflects the type of people that they are. For example, Abby uses her bare hands to basically break the infected's necks when she sneaks up on them, whereas Ellie uses her knife, which she had in the original game. Just little subtle differences like that. You know, the kills are much more personal to Abby. I suppose we could interpret, you know, she's quite comfortable with killing. Whereas with Ellie, she's perhaps maybe not so comfortable with it yet. But again, that could be, you know, does that have a major effect on the story? No, probably not. But I'm just out things that I notice. Okay, let's move on.
Fuck, I'm so lost. Please let that be it. The weather's getting bad. Where's the road? Horse tracks. Where's the patrol?
And our control moves back to Ellie.
Come on. This way. Right behind you. See? No.
Been together for so long.
Look, Jesse's great. I love his parents. They will always be family, but we were just on autopilot.
Hey, how come we never talked about this stuff?
I don't know. It didn't feel... You never really talked to me about Kat.
Yeah, 'cause there isn't much to talk about.
Yow.
Kat's a character
We
we
got
don't
the impression that you didn't really like her.
learn much about.
I don't care about her one way or the other.
Okay.
No, I think she's a talented artist. I've grown to like that tattoo of yours.
Well, that's so big of you.
And I think she wasn't right for you.
Interesting.
Shut up.
Okay.
You can tie Shimmer up here.
I definitely get jealous vibes from Dina in regards to Kat.
Hey.
This is clearly a relationship that Ellie had been in
You wanna see
previously.
something spectacular? You're gonna put
Probably
your face
while
on it.
Dina was with Jesse.
Nothing is that spectacular.
Oh, brother.
Come on, stupid. What do you think of this view, huh?
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, this route has its perks.
Where do we sign in?
Come on.
Fuck.
Now the shot we've just seen with Dina and Ellie standing looking out is clearly a callback to the original when it was Joel and Ellie. Now, I will say that does not in any way mean that Dina is some kind of substitute or replacement.
Plus, he taught me about rewiring electronics and stuff.
May we all be that sharp.
73.
May we all make it to 73.
Sign us in.
What was this place?
It used to be a radio tower. No sign of infected. Or non-infected, for that matter. Seeing a storm. A couple miles out.
And there.
Come here. Town up ahead's our last stop. Take a look.
There's the town. With the big tower thing?
Yep, that's where the next lookout is. Let's get back to the horses. Question. Were you wearing those same clothes yesterday?
They're clean.
No judgment.
It's patrol, you know. We're here to kill infected, not to look fancy.
Still look nice.
Thank you.
Hate it. Come on.
I think we should go out like Eugene.
From a stroke?
No, from old age. Like, living a long life.
You? No way. Come on. You're way too reckless.
Oh, look who's talking.
Well, you'll probably die from hypothermia from wearing canvas sneakers in the snow.
I am wearing boots today. You know how you're gonna die?
Ooh, let me guess. You're gonna kill me? Did I ruin your punchline?
No. Maybe. Fuck you.
Sorry.
So already we can see that the combination of Ellie and Dina is clearly two individuals who
Hey,
maybe
should we check these houses out?
don't take these patrols as seriously as they should, i.e. they are probably a very bad influence on each other. And this is something that's obviously part of what I was discussing earlier about how Ellie has maybe strayed from the path a little bit. Negative influences, etc. Not that I'm saying that Dina is a particularly negative influence, but it could be interpreted that certain events that have occurred, will occur, only happen because Ellie and Dina do not take this patrol as seriously as they should.
What the fuck? Oh, that smell. Looks like infected did this.
How many do you think it would take to bring down a moose?
More than one. Where the hell are they?
Let's go find them. Shit. I hear some inside. How the fuck did they get in there?
More importantly, how do we get in there?
Again, goes back to what I was talking about earlier. Ellie uses a blade.
One.
Abby uses her bare hands.
Let's see if we can get around to the back of the supermarket.
Good idea.
You good?
Yeah,
Nice throw, by the way.
thanks.
The way we came in was barricaded. How'd that runner get in here?
Yeah, it's a good question.
What's the most infected you've ever taken down on patrol?
It's gotta be the one I had with Joel a year or so ago. It was like, I don't know, a dozen? You?
Cleared about 20 once. There was a group passing through.
Fuck.
No.
Maybe we'll get you a new personal record today. Dina, this way. More runners. Let's keep it
That all of them?
Yeah. Looks like it.
We've still gotta get the ones in the supermarket.
Let's keep circling the building. There's gotta be a way in.
Ellie, help me up there. I want to look around.
Coming. All right, go ahead.
There's a hole in the roof over there. Here.
Thanks.
Look. See?
All right. Let's figure out how to get in there. Dina, under here.
Ellie? Are you clean?
Yeah. Just banged up.
Please die of old age and not because you get infected. I really don't want to have to shoot you in the face.
Deal.
It's an interesting part that clearly Ellie From the diary that she carries, you realise she's harboured this crush for Dina for quite some time, that even though Ellie feels romantically for Dina, she has not yet told her that she is immune. So the only people in Ellie's circle who know about her immunity is Joel, Tommy, and Marlene. And they are the characters from the original game. So it's just an interesting point.
Hey, got some alcohol.
Couple of rags. Here, fix yourself up. I see spores in there. Masks on.
Got it.
Remember, I don't want to have to shoot you in the face.
Oh, that's so sweet. All these spores mean they've been here for a while. Keep your eyes peeled for older infected.
Is this part of the supermarket?
I don't know. I think we're above it.
Let's get to the ground floor.
Those blind motherfuckers make my skin crawl. Let's make sure the rest of the building's cleared out. And then get the fuck out of here. Speaking my language. Dina, will help. Coming. make you a present. I'll take a present. Ellie. Here. Thanks. Careful with that. I'm a pro. We're not done. We got some numbers here. What do you think? And he's still moving? Nope.
You know what? I'm impressed with us.
Yeah. Man, the guys are not gonna believe our numbers.
Okay. Let's go to the next lookout and take a fucking break. We earned it.
Agreed.
Again, it's just a very small thing, but
Do you see a way out?
the dialogue we've just heard, I think, explicitly displays a change in Ellie. In the original game, it was all about survival. You were killing infected because you had to, because, you know, survival, get them before they get you. But here, with Dina in tow, it has become a competition. You know, they won't believe our numbers. Again, it's just a little thing. Again, you can accuse me of reading too much into it, but it's just a very small thing showing how trivial it seems to be to Ellie now. They don't take it quite as seriously as they should be. You know, people's lives are on the line, and they're not thinking about that.
budge.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You're just gonna hurl me up through that hole in the roof.
Okay. Cable here. There we go. Yeah. That should hold us. Get over. Fuck yeah.
Okay, that's good. Here I go. Careful when you get up here. Pretty windy. Over here. Storm's really picked up. How far are we from the lookout? It's just past the next town. Following you. Hey, how far away are we? A few minutes out. Okay. This is getting worse. Turn back. We won't make it. We're almost there. I know, girl. I know. Keep going. Dina, how much further? Dina? Dina! Ellie! Oh, thank God. Come on. This way. Where are we going? Just trust me. Get inside. I'll get the door.
You been here?
Rode by it. Never came inside.
All right, let's make sure it's clear. Someone's locked this place up. There's something back there. I think I see a bed.
Think we got a squatter?
You see another way in?
Doesn't feel like anyone's been here in a while.
And we're almost at my least favourite scene in the entire game.
I gotta see.
And I can guarantee it's not the one that you're thinking of.
What's going on here?
All this electronic stuff? This has to be Eugene's.
Are you
And
sure?
it's not because it's a bad scene.
Yeah, nobody else would tinker with this
It's
shit.
what it represents.
Huh. Definitely Eugene's place. He was a Firefly?
He served with Tommy.
I had no idea.
Yeah. They got into some real dark shit.
Like what?
He said he blew up a checkpoint at Denver QZ, killed 3 soldiers, and 2 civilians.
Jesus.
He also told me that he and Tommy slow tortured some big Fedra general. I don't know, I don't buy Tommy doing that, though.
He could do worse.
What do you mean?
He and Joel did a lot to survive after the outbreak. Hey, found his generator. That's better.
Oh, wow. Impressive workbench, Eugene. I bet you could mod your gun with this gear. Oh, hello. Ellie, look at the floor. There's more stuff down there.
You see a way down?
Not here.
Come on.
What's so dark down here?
Well, it's obviously a sex den. That's why he didn't tell you about it.
I hope it's a sex den. For his sake. He was so lonely, man. It's probably just like a giant TV he didn't want to share.
Oh my god. It's weed.
That's a lot of dead weed. This explains a lot.
And thus we have arrived into my least favourite scene in the entire game. Yes, this one. Not the scene that happens later. This scene. And we're going to talk about it.
Oh, there we go.
You think it's still good?
Does weed go bad?
Let's find out.
You having a hard time?
No, I got it.
Fuck. Give me that.
Oh, yeah, like you're gonna get it.
Okay. It's...
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I got it open, didn't I?
Smells good.
I mean... Gonna be stuck here a while, right?
Totally trapped.
Now Ellie should be the voice of reason here. Ellie should be the one saying, no, we have to head to Joel, head to Tommy, relieve them at the outpost. That's what Ellie in the first game would have done. But not this Ellie.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Because this entire
1
section
being
is completely trivial
absolute trash. And 10
compared to
being
what is going on
quite
outside,
frustrating.
what they should be doing, and the consequences of what happens
How would
because of
you
this scene. Now we can't say it happens because of this very scene, but this definitely, in my opinion, contributes
Why are we
to
still talking about
it.
this?
Now, anyone who has seen the leaks, played the game already, knows
Obsessive.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Did I say that?
What are you doing?
I asked you to rate our kiss.
I don't know.
I give it a 6.
A 6? Wow.
Like a solid 6.
Okay.
There are a lot of people around.
Yeah, but 6.
Oh, what? I mean, now I really want to know how you'd rate it.
I don't think you do.
You're infuriating.
Have you met you?
You make me want to go back outside into that blizzard.
No one is stopping you. This better be better than a 6.
So obviously various different reasons I can't be on board with that scene as a love scene. But I'll discuss that in more detail once a certain event happens. So now we're back with Abby. Remember, our second main character of the game. The third, should I say.
Great. Infected. Oh, shit! Shit! Just keep going.
But just to give you a small hint about where I'm going to go with this video in terms of my opinions, what I'm going to try to talk about. I feel that Abby has been completely misrepresented as a character by the fan base. And that's all I'll say on it just now.
come from? It don't matter. What does is where we going.
I reckon we go out the back. We can make a break for the lodge. We gotta warn everyone. Come back with a cleanup crew.
We gotta move! Get to the door! Behind you! Behind you!
hurry. Up there, the window! That's our way out! You see a way up there? Here, use this! Hey, girl! Push it up onto the cart! They're getting inside! I'll get the gondola to the window! You two keep those infected off of me! Damn, this thing is heavy! Watch it! Here's the clicker! Just need another minute! Look out! How we doing, Tommy? Almost there! Watch out! I got it! Come on! Whoa! Go! Hurry! I got you. They're close to us!
Where are we going?
It's this way! Come on!
Everywhere!
Don't slow down! Head for those doors! Through here, let's go! Hey, I'm Tommy. That's Joel. What's your name?
Abby.
Abby, you okay? Now you gotta hold. We gotta go back. We can't outrun them all the way to Jackson. We need to barricade that door.
You notice the way that Abby was looking at Joel there,
Making it all that way.
making eye contact with him.
It's fenced in. We have the whole perimeter secured.
Just a subtle little way to maybe give us a hint about what's going to happen.
I'll get the door.
You ride with me. Come on.
Come on! Hold on tight!
What about this one?
When I was 12, I found a skateboard.
Uh-oh.
And I tried to get on it. And it shot right out from underneath me.
Wait, how did you get the scar?
I fell on my knife.
Okay. A chemical burn. I did it myself.
Why?
To cover a bite mark. Right here. I got jumped by an infected when I was 14. And turns out I'm immune, so it healed with a ring of fucked up teeth marks and cysts and...
Ow! Fuck you.
What? Hey!
I told you a real fucking story.
I did tell you a real fucking story.
Oh, you want a bite mark?
What?
Did you hear that?
Jesse? Just stay there, okay?
Are you okay?
Just will
What's
you wait,
going on?
please? What? Just turn around. What are you doing?
Are you kidding me?
You're supposed to be on patrol.
There's a blizzard outside.
Is that weed?
Why are you here?
People are counting on you. You get that? What we do matters.
Well, then why aren't you at the fucking lookout?
Because Tommy and Joel didn't show up.
What do you mean?
We waited for them for an hour. I was looking for their horses when I saw lights.
Maybe they just went back to town. Without being replaced. No way. How much of their region have you covered?
Not much.
Then we split up. Go at it from different sides. And we can cover the whole thing in a few hours.
I'm riding solo. We don't know what's out there.
Exactly. What if they need help?
Okay, I'll head west. Dina can take south, and you come from the east, but be smart about it, yeah?
Yeah.
Voice of reason. A voice of reason where Ellie should have been the voice of reason.
Let's get inside!
Getting into the most controversial part of the game now. Plenty to discuss.
We're good. Thanks.
Yeah. Can I talk to you for a minute?
You want to get those saddles off?
No, it's all right. We'll just ride out the storm.
No got any brushes or towels?
You want nothing but luck.
You have no idea.
How'd y'all get electricity?
There are solar panels on the roof.
How long y'all been here?
Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yep.
What are y'all doing out this way?
Just passing through. You two live nearby?
We do. A few hours down the hill. Y'all should come back with us, restock before you head out.
Appreciate it. I'm Mel, by the way.
Tommy. This is my brother.
Joe. Y'all act like you heard of us or something.
Because they have.
Laura, all clear?
He's out. Put him against the wall.
Tommy! Get off me! Get off me! Puta madre.
Joel Miller.
Who are you?
Guess.
Why don't you say whatever speech you got rehearsed? Get this over with.
Tourniquet his leg. Do it.
Don't you fucking move.
God! Damn it!
Clear out.
You stupid old man. You don't get to rush this.
Okay, let's talk about it then. So, a lot of the criticism that the game has had is mostly directed, I would say 80-90% is directed at either Abby or, again, still technically Abby, at that scene, and a scene that's going to come up shortly. Now, a lot of the problems that people seem to have is that because Joel and Tommy willingly walk in there, it makes them stupid. As in, a change of their character. But I want to approach it from a completely different point of view. And the point of view is this. I've already said that Ellie has changed since the original game. Therefore, I also say, and not just from the original game, Joel himself has changed. When Joel starts off the original game, he's very much cautious, untrusting. He barely trusts Ellie. It takes a long time in the original game for Joel to even warm to Ellie. Never mind anyone else. But he does. And he does change. He loses a lot of that tough guy exterior that he has at the beginning of the original game. Now we see a little bit of that coming back in this scene. When he's telling Abby, you know, give us whatever speech you got rehearsed and get it over with. That's a little bit of the old Joel. But we've already seen from the way he was acting with Ellie, giving her the guitar, singing her the song, something he would never do in the original game, might I add. Joel has changed. And part of that change, now this is my opinion, only my opinion, you do not have to agree with me, Joel has become, I feel, more trusting of anyone. Now, let's put it this way. He sees this woman in danger, Abby. They rescue her. They head for shelter. They see women. They see men. Okay, fine, everyone can be dangerous. I'm not saying because, you know, he saw women that instantly makes him believe that this group is safe. No. But not one of them acted out of turn until he said his name. By then, he's already he's already there. Tommy's already there. Yes, Tommy invites them back to restock before they head out. There's been criticism, thrown that way as well. How could they be so trusting of these people? Joel's not like that. Tommy's not like that. But I say that that's not true. Joel changed. I feel that Joel saved this woman, and he would feel, okay, maybe he's caught off guard. Maybe he's not thinking fully. But no, I do not blame Joel in any way for walking into that situation. In any way. And it goes back to some of the points I raised in talking about the last scene with Ellie and Dina. Now, they're supposed to be heading to the outpost to help Joel and Tommy, or to relieve them basically, because they've both been up for too long, according to Tommy's wife. Now, Jesse says it himself. You're supposed to be on patrol, you're supposed to be doing this, you're supposed to be doing that. So a lot of the blame I hold, I do not level at Joel and Tommy's stupidity. I level at Ellie and Dina in the previous scene, because they could have already met up with Tommy and Joel. They could have been with them when they stumbled across Abby. And again, are we supposed to yet feel any kind of sympathy for Abby? No, we're not. The game is not giving us that yet. So we can't lobby any complaints at Abby yet. We can't say, you know, she's this and she's that, etc. I hope that makes some modicum of sense in what I'm trying to say. The point I was trying to make is there's been criticism thrown at the game, thrown at Neil Druckmann, thrown at Joel and Tommy, that it was stupid that they walked in there. That would never happen. I put it forward that it could happen, and it did. And it's as simple as that. Let's continue on. There'll be more to discuss once we see the outcome of that little scene. So let's carry on.
Joel! Tommy! How do I get down there? Okay, Shimmer. Come on. Please be okay. Joel!
Now this tells me that Ellie already knows that something is horribly, horribly wrong. And that this is Ellie already, before even knowing what is happening, is already feeling guilt. You know, that she was, figure of speech, off having a good time, while Joel and Tommy have been put into this horrible situation. Again, just my opinion.
There it is.
Joel? Tommy?
Now think about it. Well, I mean, we obviously don't know how long Ellie's been travelling for, but if Ellie and Dina had headed here straight away, the situation that has already happened, and whatever occurs when we go into this building, could have been radically different. Radically different. So, it wasn't so much that Joe was stupid for walking in and, you know, not, and trusting Abby's group. It was, where was their backup? Where was Ellie? Where was Dina?
Where is that coming from? Joel.
I'm going to try as much as possible not to talk at all during this scene. Unless I really, really, really have to. I'm just going to let it play out.
Get her down! Get off me! Get her hand! Get the fuck off me!
You got her! Look, you got her! Okay?
You're gonna fucking die!
What's going on?
Let him go!
Who is that?
Let him
She
go!
snuck in.
Why aren't you posted up outside?
We didn't think anyone was gonna show up.
What the hell did you expect? We gotta get out of here before the whole town's on top of us. You're done.
You want what I want, right?
End it. Now.
Joel, get up. Joel, fucking get up. Please stop. Please don't shoot. Joel, please get up. No! I'll fucking kill you.
Okay. Again, let's talk about it. So, where will we start? Now, this is probably, next to Abby, this is the main negative that, in particular, users are leveling against the game. That Joel dies this early into the game, and the way that he dies. Now, we don't know why Joel's dead yet. We don't know yet. So yes, it's shocking. And when I first saw it, the second time I saw it, the third time I saw it, this is now the fourth time I've seen that scene, it's still shocking. Obviously, I knew it was coming, so I'm expecting it. But the first time you see it, it's incredibly shocking. There's a couple of things of note. One, Joel doesn't say anything. Now, I do know he was originally supposed to say something. He doesn't say anything. I have my own theory as to why that is. Two, yes, Abby murders him. In a horrific way. I agree with that. She does. There's no taking away from that. It's a horrible, horrible death. Did Joel deserve it? No. In my opinion, no. He didn't. He didn't deserve it. But does that take anything away from the game? Does that take away points from the score for the game? No. No. Just because someone doesn't deserve something to happen to them doesn't mean that it can't happen to them. They're two very different things. And I think too many people are focusing on the it happened instead of thinking, well, yes, it did, but there's a reason why it happened. And there's consequences to it happening. And there was consequences that led up to it happening. And the easy way out is just to say, Abby's a terrible character, we don't like Abby. Abby murdered Joel, that's it. And then you dismiss the rest of the game, basically. There are people who have stopped playing the game. There was a streamer who, when that scene happened, took his disc out and snapped it in half. Because it is that shocking. But under no circumstances would I have stopped playing the game based on that. No chance. Nothing would have stopped me playing the rest of the game. Nothing. So, but that's me. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I can't speak on behalf of you guys. That's fine. You can feel whatever you want to feel about that scene. So, instead of weighing up why I think it's a fine scene and why this and why that and Abby's, we've not got far enough yet for me to properly talk about Abby. So I'm not going to talk about Abby. All I have to mention about Abby is, we knew she was looking for someone. We can deduce, based on that scene and the previous scene, she was looking for Joel. And now Joel's dead. The rest of the group, it's still a bit early to really make this point, but I think you see enough in that scene and in the previous scene, I'm talking about with Owen, that we can maybe start to draw conclusions. Earlier on when I was talking about mirror images, people that are like other characters. So I already said that Jesse is the voice of reason. Now, in my opinion, the reflection to Jesse in the opposite group, in Abby's group, is Owen. I see Owen as the voice of reason for Abby's group. Weighing up all the consequences of everything. We've come here, so I'm talking about Tabby. We've come here so you could do this to this man. Get it over with. Just get it over with. And let's get back to whatever else we have to do. Get back to our own group, get back to our own environment, etc. So that's just one little point. I'll be able to talk far more about that later on. Now, Joel doesn't say anything. I do have a theory in regards to that, which I'll briefly mention here, and then I can elaborate upon it later on. But I think it's because Joel is accepting what is happening. Okay? He's accepting it. He doesn't fight. If you notice, he doesn't fight. He doesn't struggle. He doesn't fend anyone off. Okay, people would say he can't. He's had his head caved in with a golf club. Well, that's not necessarily true. Because he was held back to begin with. They've moved him from room to room. That's not where the scene started off. When Abby, blew a chunk off of his leg with a shotgun. So, and I don't see anyone with wounds on them. With bruises, signs of a struggle. I think Abby, from the second Joel was restrained, and Joel says to Abby, give whatever speech you've got to give and get this over with, I think Joel's accepted it. He's accepted the full beating, and he accepts the fact that Abby is going to kill him. Now, why he accepts that, I can talk about much later on. But I'm just saying that just now, just to put the thought in your head that I'm going to talk about that in more detail. So, I see Owen as a reflection of Jesse. I feel that Joel accepts what is happening to him. And I don't think that Joel dying that early has any negative effect on the game. Because I believe, and I said this I kind of hinted at it at the beginning, this is a story that has Joel all over it. Whether he's alive, whether he's dead, whether we see a flashback, whether we hear his voice, whether we're reminded of something from the original game, Joel is still a predominant force in this entire game. And obviously I'll go into that in more detail. So, that to me is the most shocking scene in the whole game. And it's done. So, we'll discuss it in more detail. I'm going to try and not pause the game for as long as I have been. The only reason I'm pausing it is because I don't want to be talking over cutscenes that are going to happen. So, this may be the last time I pause to fully discuss all these points. The points may just come out as the game is playing. But we'll see what happens. So, let's carry on. I hope this is all making sense for you guys. I'm trying to be as clear as possible with it all, with my points.
Ellie. I'm sorry.
Like I said, you do not have to agree with what I'm saying.
They're down here.
That's not what this is about. One last thing I will say based on that. For the rest of the game to happen, people complained about Joel dying so early. For the game to actually happen, the story they wanted to tell, Joel had to die. Then and there. Because we're not into the plot of the game yet. Now we are. Joel had to die there. In my opinion. For the story that Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, Haley Gross, for the story they wanted to tell, Joel had to die there. Let's carry on.
Hey.
Hey.
Could I sit down, please?
Yeah.
Maria wants to make sure you're eating.
She can't stop us.
to have the guys that we would need to do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
So they just get to get away with this?
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, but that's what's happening.
What if we get hit by hunters again?
Is this you talking or is this her?
That's a valid point.
If it were you or me, Joel would be halfway to Seattle already.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
Fucking would be.
Well, we don't even know for certain that they're from Seattle.
Washington Liberation Front. That's what you said was on those patches.
What if they stole those jackets?
That's...
What's the WLF move?
What are you doing? You know what? I'm leaving tomorrow. And if you want to come with me, great.
You have no idea what you're walking into. You don't know how large that group is, how armed.
I don't care. You can't talk me out of this.
Give me a day to talk to Maria. Okay? There's gotta be some folks you can spare.
And if she won't budge?
Well, I'll figure something out. One day. Please.
Fine.
It's been stated that the theme of the game is hate. I think another predominant theme is guilt. Guilt. I think a lot of Ellie's motivations, a lot of Joel's motivations in the game is completely founded on guilt. Guilt that while Joel needed help, Ellie was, as I've already said, having a good time with Dina. You know, this man that protected her all the way through the original game. And he needed her help. And she wasn't there.
I want to stop at his house before we leave. I just have to pick something up. Okay.
Joel gave up the cure for humanity to save the one person that he had in the world that he truly loved. Guilt. He felt guilty
I couldn't get to
because he
the
knew that he had lied to her.
Now Maria's got the stables locked down.
We see it in the scene where he gives Ellie the guitar.
Tommy. We'll figure something else out on the way.
He's constantly trying
Or a horse or something.
to figure out ways to make it up to her. And I believe,
It's getting to Seattle a lot.
I'm not going to talk about it just now, but I believe Joel found the one thing that he could do for Ellie
I know.
to make up for
want you to feel like you have to.
lying to her.
Ellie. You go. I go. End of story.
Now, I've already said that the story of this game, the story they wanted to tell,
I hid it by the east gates.
Joel had to die. And why is that? Well, it's quite simple. This, when you break it down to its most simple description, is a revenge story. It's Ellie wanting revenge for Joel. And all the consequences that will happen because of the hate that Ellie feels for Abby, for her group. But would Ellie... So obviously this ties into the Joel dying so quickly into the game argument. If we can just agree that the story that had to be told was one of revenge, because it's very easy to say, well, oh, it didn't have to be a revenge story, it could be about anything. Okay, fine, whatever, let's disregard that and just say the story was always going to be about revenge, and it was always going to be about Ellie getting revenge for the death of someone around her. Do I believe in my heart of hearts, even though clearly Ellie and Dina have this, you know, this relationship that's starting up just now, do I believe that if Dina had been killed, that Ellie would go off on this revenge quest? No, I don't. I don't.
Okay.
Do I believe if Marlene had been murdered, that Ellie would go off on this revenge quest? No. No, I don't. Certainly not how seriously Ellie takes it. Do I believe if Tommy had been killed, that no, I don't. I don't. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, the simple fact is, the one person that would motivate Ellie to go on a quest for revenge is Joel. For that to happen, Joel had to die. It's as simple as that. If Joel had just been beaten up, put into a wheelchair, crippled, whatever, blinded, it would not have the effect. It had to be something that would make Ellie go off on this vendetta. So that's where my, albeit very basic argument with the decision to kill Joel. Like I said, you don't have to like the fact that Joel was killed. In fact, that's the point. You should never like it when a character that you've grown fond of, you know, grown to know, gets killed off. In any medium. In books, in films, in television. It should always break your heart. If it doesn't, you don't care about the character enough. It's as simple as that. Now you can look at a lot of things in the house. It's definitely very upsetting for Ellie, for the player. So I'm going to skip over most of that.
Yeah, just come on down.
So yes, we can debate back and forth all day about what story should have been told in the game. As far as I'm concerned, we have to just accept that they wanted to make a revenge story. And they wanted to have Ellie at the forefront of that. So Joel was the sacrifice to make that story happen.
Maria, I'm headed to Seattle.
Sorry, I called her Marlene. It's Maria. My mistake.
I have to bring these people to justice. Ellie's gonna try to come after me, but stop her. Take her guns, lock up the horses, maybe lock her up. Buy me some time so I can end this. Love you always, Tommy. He's gonna get himself killed.
He should have taken me with him. You should have given us a group to go after those fuckers.
I wish I could.
You gonna try to lock me up?
I'd prefer that you stay.
That's not gonna fucking
I
happen.
prefer that you stay, but I know you better. You going with her?
Yeah.
So you're just gonna sneak out of here? Hmm?
Yeah.
On foot? told the stable to let you out with your horse. Grab some ammo, too.
Thank you, Maria.
Just, do me a favor and bring my dumbass husband home in one piece, please.
Of course.
All right. Get going, you're losing light.
This hunter was on top of him, drowning him, and Joel couldn't get to his gun.
Jeez. Were you scared?
Well, I didn't even think. I just ran in there, grabbed his gun, and shot the guy in the face.
How old were you?
14. How old were you when you first killed someone?
We talking infected?
No.
So that was obviously a callback to the original game.
10?
That was the point where Joel started to trust Ellie more because she saved his life.
I stabbed him.
Shit. He got me beat.
Yeah, I'm a real badass.
But again, we're back to
So
this
how lost are we?
competition. You know, I killed an infected when I was 14. Oh, I was 10. You know, with Dina, when you put Dina and Ellie together, I do feel.
Cannibals you said you and Joel ran into. They came after you guys once. Maybe
I do
these W
definitely
LFs
get
are
this
connected
kind
to
of,
them.
you know, things are not as serious as they should be. You know, the respect for life, the respect for your own life, not taking too many risks. You know, it's definitely there's little. Again, I could be accused of reading too much into it, but there's definitely this dynamic that when you put Ellie and Dina together, in regards to what happened with Joel in that regard, you know, Ellie was far too reckless. Going back to my earlier point of Ellie straying from the path. You know, she's too fixated on Dina. This infatuation, love, whatever you want to call it. It's distracting. It's something that, if you remember the original game with the character Bill talks about it.
Ellie.
That he had to be on his own.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Because...
Got it.
Because maybe... And Bill was the homosexual character in the first game. And he had a partner. I can't remember his name now. But there's a big section where Bill talks to Ellie and to Joel about it, about, you know, being on his own is obviously how he feels safer, because there's no one to F it up, so to speak.
Turns out you do know where you're going.
But at the same time, that's not to say that people have to be on their own to be successful in this world. No, definitely not. Joe and Ellie were a fantastic partnership. I think it's more to do with romantic attachments.
Stay with Shimmer.
in the world. A lot of we'll certainly see with some other characters as well, that they make mistakes because of that. They make careless errors.
Yes.
Again, not that I'm advocating, you know, that no one in this world should engage in, or, you know, relationships. Far from it.
Anything good in there?
Found an old tourist map.
Well, that's something.
But I definitely think that Ellie's motives and Dina's motives for why they're in Seattle definitely do not match up.
Think about how well we hide our lookouts.
I know.
I feel Ellie has a legitimate reason for being here. Dina, I feel, is only here because Ellie is. And that's fine, you know. There are people I would, in my own life, that I would follow wherever they went. I don't have to have a personal stake in whatever reason they have for being somewhere. But yeah, just a little thought.
Whoa, is that the QZ?
Yep. Watch the high spots.
WLF. Trespassers killed on sight. That's friendly. At least we know we're in the right place.
Where is everyone?
They put up this sign. Means there's gotta be a way in.
These were soldiers from the QZ. See the Fedra uniforms?
Do you think it was the WLF?
They left them here. Like a warning.
That's fucked up. Looks like there's some cracks up there in the wall. You see it?
Yeah. Not sure how we get up there, though.
Ah, I'm on the wrong one.
Anything good in there?
Pretty picked over. Dina, hey, help me up here.
I'll keep an eye out. Just see if you can get the gate open from the other side.
Sounds good.
Oh, damn it. I messed that up. Luckily the autosave function is very good in this game. Don't lose much progress. That was what I was supposed to do.
I'm good. Just almost died. These fuckers.
See, that's another interesting point about Joel's death. You may recall at the beginning of the game, I said that when you're controlling Joel, I said it reminded me of the original game. Well, if you think of the original game, right at the very beginning of the game, you played as Sarah, who was then killed very early into the original game, right at the beginning, in fact. So I think that was a little bit of clever foreshadowing on the game's part. We controlled Joel that one time, and
okay.
then he's killed. So I definitely think that was a deliberate callback to the original game as well. Just one of these details that I was thinking about.
Now that's a generator. Oh, shit. Okay.
There we are.
Ellie? Ellie! Over here!
Hey, everything okay? What was that sound?
I got that gate open. Gotta figure out this one now.
Well, we believe in you.
Thanks. Whew. Okay. Yes.
Well done!
Shit.
Hey, come on. Let's get out of here. That crash was pretty loud.
Now what?
Found a note back there. Had some codes on it. Says there's a WLF safe house at some place called Saravina Base.
Saravina. So we find it?
Hopefully we find our first WLF. Get them to talk. Go from there.
Let's do it.
Oh shit, look. Saravina Hotel.
Well, that's gotta be it. Okay. Let's find a way past this, fuck Fedra gate?
Very creative. Gets right to the point. Let's get closer and scope it out. Okay, here we go. It's out of gas.
God damn it. Well, what do we do now?
Oh shit. The note.
What?
The note mentioned that there's gas in the courthouse garage and the dome.
Alright. Courthouse garage and the dome. So what's the plan for finding these places?
We ride around and see what we see.
You think Tommy came through here?
Bet he did. So, where are we?
Pretty sure we're here.
Ah, nice. I'll mark it up as we go.
Now this is a fairly open area. Reluctant to call it open world, obviously, but there are a lot of optional side objectives you can do here. Obviously, for the purposes of this playthrough, we will not be doing any of them, unless we, of course, accidentally stumble into any of them. Doesn't add anything really to the main plot of the game, but you can get a lot of scrap, upgrades, etc, etc, weapons. So let's carry on.
What the hell happened out here? I'm guessing the military bombed the shit out of this place.
Why would they do that?
Well, they would sometimes destroy parts of the city that were lost to the infected. Or to rebels.
That seems like overkill.
Well, it usually worked.
Ration distribution center.
In Boston, we'd line up for blocks. And the food sucked.
I'd go crazy.
Well, some people did. Come on, let's find a way in. Can you get through?
All right, I got you. Shit.
Stay low.
Nice and quiet.
Latch is on the other side. Found the gas. Just need to get back there. Okay. Here we go. God damn it.
Hey, language. House of worship.
It's empty.
That sucks. Now what?
We'll try our luck at the courthouse garage. Let's get out of here. Okay, you were saying?
Yeah, so... this place brings back a lot of memories. My sister used to drag me to a synagogue all the time.
Do you still pray?
Sometimes.
Really? When?
I said one when we left Jackson. I said one at Joel's grave. Sometimes I just say little ones to myself.
Does it help?
I think it calms me. Helps me put things in perspective. It's a way to deal with grief. A way to show respect. It's what I know.
There we go. This way.
Right behind you.
Hmm.
Hey, what are you doing?
Bet I can get to the other balcony with this.
Okay. Ellie, careful.
It's okay. It's holding. Nothing to it. Come on, Dina.
Right.
Okay, cross the dome off the list.
Let's go find the courthouse. It might be worth grabbing some supplies before we press on. It's peaceful out here, at least.
It's weird being in a QZ and not hearing trucks. Or gunfire and explosions.
My sister always avoided QZs. That's probably why. She just got more and more paranoid. She'd sometimes wake up screaming in the middle of the night.
That's rough.
Hey, I think I found the courthouse.
How can you tell?
See that sign up there? On the building that says courthouse?
Oh, well, nice work, detective.
Mm-hmm. Mark this place on the map.
Worth a try.
Let's keep looking. Hear that?
I hear it.
You ever been to a courthouse before?
Nope.
You're telling me you never got in trouble back in Boston?
Oh, I got in trouble. But never landed in a courthouse.
Some serious shit went down here.
Parking garage.
Well, the gas is in there, right?
Well, that's what the note said.
Well, let's get down there.
This might come in handy. Brought it on yourself, I guess.
Careful.
Shit! Infected, watch! To your right! Hey, come on! Look
Jesus.
And?
Wait. We got gasoline.
Our luck's changing.
Don't you jinx us. The fuck Fedrigate is calling to us.
Now, how do we get out of here?
Oh. Dina.
Coming.
Like I said, there's far more that you can do in this area than just get the gasoline. I've basically just gone straight for the objective, just to keep my length of the playthrough down.
Okay, gate.
Could be a while before we run into Abby and her friends. It might be worth grabbing some supplies before we press on.
Good point.
Onward, Shimmer.
How you doing back there? Getting homesick?
A little bit. You?
Same. Miss having a roof over my head.
You know, I've always dreamed of fixing up a farm just outside of Jackson.
Why wouldn't you stay in town?
I don't know. I like the idea of real space.
Sounds lonely.
Only if you're doing it alone.
Okay. So are we gonna, like, raise sheep and milk cows?
Are you making fun of me?
No. It actually sounds kind of nice.
Really?
Yeah. Really.
That suggestion is something that may be important later on. Or not so much important as it comes into play.
Oh, that was an adventure.
Haven't found any of them yet.
Hey, it's a big city. We barely started looking.
Yeah, I know. Just thought we'd see one of them by now.
So already Ellie is completely focused on finding Abby's group, making them pay. It's the one thing that she's thinking of above anything else.
Alright.
So she's already impatient
Put in the code.
to see this thing through.
Hey, these old generators are pretty finicky, so it might take you a few tries of... Oh.
Sorry, go on.
Nothing. It worked. Well, no welcome for me.
Or they're just waiting for us.
Let's look for a way in. Keep an eye on those windows.
And with that, I will call this the end of part 1, ladies and gentlemen. Please come back and join me again when I'll have part 2, which should already be up by the time you finish watching this part. I can't tell you exactly how many parts this video is going to be. It depends how quick I can get through the game, and obviously how quickly I can get all my thoughts out. But until I see you on the next part, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave any of your comments in my comments section, and I'm sure we can get a decent conversation going about all our different thoughts about the game and the original, etc. So I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you again for watching, and stay obsessed with gaming.